Hello, everyone. We're back. It's February is over, which means it's March, which means it's time to talk about the books of February. February, I think I did good. A lot of back and forth in February, but let's just get right into February, shall we? The first book I finished in February was The First Overlord by Kagune Maruyama. It was a pretty good isekai story, I feel like. I can't remember his name because I'm really bad at names, but the guy, yeah, Eins Gaon, yeah, is a Eins is a very fun protagonist, and I kind of like the whole setup of like the way he's isekai'd in the video game is, in my opinion, much more interesting than something like Sword Art Online and any of that slop. In the sense that, like, yes, his video game character has become him, but he's also like in a totally different world again. It's just like one extra little layer that makes it better, in my opinion, and it feels different. And it also again helps that Eins is just a fun character, and so is all the little like demon homies he has. Yeah, it's good. Short read, obviously. It's an isekai. You either tolerate them or you hate them. And then we have Xenocide by Orson Scott Card, the third of the Ender's Game expanded universe gobbledygook. It was fine. It did not need to be almost 800 pages long. There was so much Ender being like, blah 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 blah, and Jane being like blah blah blah. And it's like there's so much talking in this book, which yeah, dialogue's important for your book, but I feel like a lot of the talking, I don't know. Orson Scott Card is one of those writers that I like, but I can't read too many pages of Orson Scott Card in one sitting, or else I get frustrated. But I mean, I finished it. It was an objectively good sci-fi story. I can't argue that point, but it really overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Probably am. Next, we have what was my favorite book of the month. We're already there. We got The Clown by Heinrich, I assume that's Boll, Heinrich Boll. I adored this. I thought this was so good, so fun to read. I loved every second of it. I love Hans. He's such a unlikable character in a way, but I think that's what makes him so fun to read about. I like unlikable characters. I like, Lolita and that sort of thing, where the main character, our point of view character, is not somebody that we are supposed to root for. And I really don't think Hans is someone you are supposed to like. He's selfish and kind of up his own ass a lot. And most of the time, the book is him kind of being like pulling an underground man, or maybe an underground man pulled a Hans. I don't know publication dates, but a lot of it's him being like, well, I'm too prideful to just take this on the chin and move on like a normal person. I'm going to be combative here, when all that does is make my situation worse. But it's really good. Would recommend it. It's one of those books that after you read it, you can say, oh, I read The Clown by Heinrich Boll, and I'm more intelligent than you. But it's good. I want to read more Boll, because that honestly blew me away. I had such a fun time with that book. Then, after that, we have a book that I had a miserable, horrible, awful, dog water, poo poo pee pee, stinky, miserable time with. Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I hated every page of that book. It was so boring. It was just so like. It felt. Somebody I knew said that like it was fetish bait, which I don't think that's quite true, but I can understand where they're coming from. It's definitely a lot of like, oh, Pride and Prejudice woman's got to go to war in the swamp, and she's really good at war. Isn't that cool? Which, like, it just felt disingenuous, I guess. Like, she didn't do anything to earn being good at war or being, she and the romance in the book was so bad. I've never seen a love triangle where no one no one had any chemistry. It was I hated it, which sucks. I got a bunch of those on a Humble Bundle, so hopefully some other of his stuff is less horrible. We'll see. Then after that we have The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I also didn't like this, which really upsets me actually, because I was hyped for this. I love Bardugo. I love Six of Crows. I love all of those books in the Grishaverse, but this just, I don't know if I was in a bad headspace at the time or what, but this did not hit good. I don't know. There was just something about it that just didn't hit with me. I gave it a 2. I mean, I wouldn't say it was a bad book. It was just not a book that resonated with me when I read it. Like I said, that could have been a mindset thing, but I was honestly disappointed. I really wanted more, but I didn't get more, which is what life's all about, not getting more. Then we have Little Eve by Catriona Ward. This was, when I came into it, I knew nothing. I had this book on my e-reader forever, and I finally decided, hey, I should read that because it's been sitting there unread for a long time. And it did something that a book doesn't do a lot, which is actually give me a twist at the end that surprised me. Like, I did not see the twist coming. I didn't even have an inkling of what the twist was, which immediately is good points in my book because I read a lot of books and I kind of know, you get a feel for these sort of things. But Little Eve was good. It was fun. It was, I say fun too much. I'm so sorry. I hate But it was, I mean, Gothic lit, obviously. Very good exploration of the cult mindset and how, being isolated makes you crazy. And, like, even though in the back of your mind that you are with an abuser, like, that's all you've known. You can't get out. Good times. Good times. Then we have the third, Tales from the Gas Station by Jack Townsend. This book, in my opinion, sort of suffers from Twin Tower syndrome in the sense that a lot of it was built up for the last book. But Townsend's always good. I love these books, even if this one, and especially the fourth one, which we're going to talk about soon, almost felt a little too chaotic at times. Like, there were times where so much was going on with so many different characters, and it's just like, I can barely follow what's supposed to be happening on the page. Who is this? I know we've met them before, but I don't remember what they've done until this moment, and it kind of got away from me. But Townsend this is a time where I think the word fun is appropriate. Townsend is just fun. He's not high art. I would never say, like, yeah, you should write your thesis on Tales from the Gas Station or whatever, but it's just goofy and entertaining, and I just like it. There's something about it that just tickles the old reading bone. Then we have Heir to the Jedi by Kevin Hiarne. It was okay. It takes place right after episode 4, right after, the Battle of Yavin or whatever it is. First Death Star got blown up. The whole book is from Luke's POV, which I thought was both interesting and a very bold choice because there were definitely times where I was thinking, would Luke really say this? Or, like, would Luke really think this? But it was a good time. It was a popcorn book for sure. I mean, it was a Star Wars book. What do you expect? But you all know I'm the first one to say genre fiction is fun. And it was good. It was a slow start. It was a very slow start, but I think by the end it paid off. It was a perfectly serviceable book. Yeah. And then the last book I read in February, I slipped it in right in the end because I kind of made myself, was Tales from the Gas Station 4. The last Tales from the Gas Station book. Tales from the Gas Station is now over. Jack Townsend is over. This was super good. This had everything that I wanted. It answered the backstories of pretty much every one of these characters. We got to, especially Jack. Jack had so much good fleshing out in this book. But, like I was just saying, this one even more suffers from the whole, like, there are 14 million characters on screen at any single time, and we are jumping rapidly from scene to scene and place to place at an almost breakneck speed. Like, you cannot tell me, especially because there's so many, like, flashbacks and internal, like, dialogues and that sort of thing in this one, that this one really gives you whiplash. Like, you'll go from hanging out in a trailer with a character to Jack has been knocked unconscious, so we're in Jack's dream world, but it's not Jack's dream, it's actually like Jerry's dream or Rosa's dream, and by dream it's just their like tragic backstory. But like that'll happen immediately, no warning. Like, it's not even a chapter break sometimes, it just starts, and then you're immediately back to where you were in the trailer with the people, but like because Jack was asleep, things have changed again. And I mean, I get it, like you kind of had a lot to wrap up at this point, but I wouldn't say it felt rushed, but because every gas station kind of feels like that, kind of ping-ponging all over the place. But sometimes I had to just like stop and reread a page or two because it's like, what just happened? What? Also, the ending was I wouldn't say not worth it, but like, okay, really? Yeah. Anyway, that was February. I was whining a lot, but that's fine. Yeah, we're into March, obviously. I'm reading the first Green Bones book, and I'm also reading The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. We'll see how those go. I hope you have read some good books. I'd love to hear about them in the comments, as always. And thank you for watching. Good night.